Hello everyone, this is Chris from the Ela Public Library Makerspace, The Forge, and we're going to do a brief tutorial today about downloading a model from Thingiverse and sending it in to be 3D printed at the library. So first things first, we want to open up a web browser and go to thingiverse.com, thingiverse.com. So Thingiverse is a Creative Commons copyright 3D model sharing site. So people can upload models to be 3D printed here. They are primarily Creative Commons copyright, meaning they are available for you to print for your own personal use. They are available for you to modify for your own personal use, but you cannot sell them even if you modify them. So let's take this model over here, this Baby Yoda here, as an example project to be sent in. So we could modify this and put a loop up at the top to be able to turn it into a Christmas tree ornament or something like that, or into a really small pair of earrings if we scale it down. But we would not be able to sell that because we're just modifying someone else's model. So when you're on this page, the first thing you might want to do is click on this download all button. You don't actually want to click that because that's going to get a lot of extra files that you don't need and package them all up in a zip file, which you then would have to open, find the right file, and send that correct file to be 3D printed. But we can skip all of that with a different option. So when we scroll down here lower, beneath all the pictures of the model, there's a Thing Files button. And if we click on that, we get the actual files of the model. Again, there's a download all button, but we don't want to click on that. OBJ and STL are the two file types that are presented here, and both of those will work perfectly fine with our 3D printer. If it says something other than OBJ or STL, it might be a file that was designed for a laser cutter or a carving machine, which is like a desktop CNC machine. So you want to make sure that it's STL or OBJ. And then we would just click on this download button here, and we'll get a dialog of where do we want to save it. I generally save things on desktop just so it'll make it easier to find them, but downloads is fine just so long as you know where your project is saved. So while that's downloading, let's jump over to our library's wonderful webpage, eapl.org. So all sorts of information is available on our library webpage. There's ebook services, there's our catalog search function, there's signing up for events, all sorts of stuff. But what we wanted to go to today is Create. And when we mouse over it, we get a little pop-up out on the side there that has three options. Digital Media Labs are on the second floor for video editing and audio editing. Creative Bug is an online service the library pays for that is video tutorials on all sorts of different crafts and projects. But for 3D printing, we want to go to Forge. And when we mouse over that, we get two more options. So Forge certification is for in-library one-on-one training on the hardware that we have there, like our silhouette cutters, our sewing machines, and eventually, once it becomes available for patron use, our laser cutter. But for 3D printing, we want to go to this 3D print job submission form. So this is a very information-dense page, and I'm going to break it down to just the key points, and then we're going to be editing this in the near future. So we charge 10 cents a gram for the plastic. We use STL and OBJ file formats, and our projects generally have about a 0.3 millimeter tolerance, meaning the outside perimeter of an object is about 0.3 millimeters bigger than you'd think, and interior holes for projects are about 0.3 millimeters smaller than you'd think. But a little bit of sanding and you'll be good to go. Who can 3D print with us here at the Ela Library? Well, if you can borrow a book from us, you can 3D print with us. So long as you're in good standing with your home library, you can send models in to be 3D printed if you're registered to be able to borrow books. District 95 students may not always have a library card or have it registered with us, so if you're a District 95 student, we can just print for you, no problem. We do have some size and time limitations for our 3D printer. So we can do just under 6 inches cubed for the size, and then we can only print for a maximum of 10 hours or less. Now, what does that mean for you submitting a project? Not a whole lot, actually. Staff will look over the model and make sure that it works for our 3D printer within our size and time constraints. And if it doesn't, we'll contact you and let you know, hey, this is a little too big, or there's a problem here. We'll take screenshots and explain all of the potential issues with printing the project, and then work with you to try and make it work as best we can. So don't worry too much about it on your first print project. Next is a little infographic about not clicking on the upload button, but we'll discuss that a little later when we get down to it. So next are a series of links to PDF files about all of the other classes that we've taught in the Forge for 3D model design. So if you can't make it to one of our classes, you can download the PDF and work on it from home at your own pace. Beneath that are a couple of color samples for some of our materials that we're going to be updating in the near future. Beneath that are some examples of size and price. And then finally, we get to our form, which is super important. So we need your name, your library card number if you are not a District 95 student. And if you are a District 95 student, just type in District 95 student there. We'll sort everything out. Do you want your project displayed? So we have a display case, and if you say no, we won't display your project. So maybe it's a secret prototype of a project you don't want people to see yet, or maybe it's a gift that you don't want someone to see. We can make sure that it's not on display. Email address is a super important field that you need to fill out. That's how we're going to contact you most of the time about the status of your project. Like if it's done and ready to be picked up, or it's too big for our printer to print, or it's got some other issue that we need to work with you to solve. So please make sure that you fill out your email address correctly on this field. If you don't have an email address, you can put in your phone number instead, and we can call you and sort it out that way. Beneath that is our color options. So our 3D printers work very similarly to kind of like a hot glue gun or a mechanical pencil. Depending on the material that's loaded into the machine, that's the color that it's going to draw with the entire time. We don't have ink cartridges, so for our Baby Yoda example, we can't say that we want the base to be gray. Here, let's grab it real quick. So we can't say, hey, print the base in gray and then print the main body in brown, but leave the hands and head green, and if you could do the eyes in black, print that. Unfortunately, we can't, because our printer only has one nozzle and can only run one color of filament at a time. So it's going to be that color all the way up the whole model. But acrylic paint sticks really nicely to the kind of plastic we print with, so it's very easy to paint the details on afterwards instead. So beneath our color choices is our file upload. So we would click Choose File, we would get our file selection window, and we would pick our file. And after we pick it, this right here will display the name of the file selected, so you can always verify that you picked the right thing. You do not want to click this button. Do not click the upload button. I will say it one more time. Please do not click the upload button, because if you do, when you submit your form, we won't actually get it. So we won't know that your project was sent, and we won't be able to print it because we will never have gotten it. If you accidentally click the upload button, either start the form over or email us at forge@eapl.org and tell us, hey, I accidentally clicked the upload button, here's all the information from the form, and we can work on getting your print in the queue and getting everything squared away. Beneath that is a comment section where you can tell us anything that you want us to know about your project before we start printing it. Like, I'm not sure how big this project's going to be. Can you email me an estimate before you print it? Of course we can. Or, I don't really care what color you 3D printed in, just whatever color you've got in there so it can get done faster. We can do that too. Or, can you scale this down to as small as you can print it or as large as you can print it? And we can work on that. There are still constraints of, size and whether or not our printer can print it that small, but we'll do what we can. So anything like that, you can put in the comments section. Then there is a CAPTCHA that you have to fill out. And then finally, there is our submit button. So after you click that, we will get an email a few moments later saying, hey, here's my project. Can you print it for me? And so we will load it up, take a look at it to make sure that it'll work on our 3D printers, and get it running as soon as we can. And then, as soon as it's ready, we'll contact you saying, hey, your project's ready. Come on in and pick it up. So that's it. It's pretty easy. All you have to do is find a file you want, upload it, and fill out the rest of the form on the ELA webpage, and we'll get your project printed. We can't wait to see what you design or what you find that you want to print. Have a good one.